Okay, so welcome everybody to the 2023 Mixed 18 and Over District Championship captains meetings for the 7-0s and 8-0s. Thank you guys very much for being on. Please know that this is I do have a little PowerPoint presentation, but this is super laid back. So if you have questions, just stop me. There is a place at the end for questions as well. But if there's anything that we go over that, that we kind of push through a little bit quickly, just let me know. If you're new at this, also let us know, because sometimes we blow through some things pretty quickly. So just know that this is a very laid back kind of meeting. I am going to share my screen so you guys can see. Let's do this. And okay, so can you guys see the blue screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is, so this is the 2023 National Championship calendar. So I'm going to send this PowerPoint out to everybody so you'll have a copy of this calendar. It's also hyperlinked in here as well. So if you want to save it as a hyperlink, you'll be able to have it. But these are the locations, the times for all the national championships. So as you guys know, this is the district championship for the 7-0s and 8-0s. When the winner of every flight will go on to the section championships the weekend after July 4th. For the 8-0s, there are 2 5-team flights. So the top 2 teams from each of the 5-team flights will go. The winner of the 4-team flights will go. That'll give us 7 teams. We will take a wild card for the to round it out. So we'll have 8 total teams that'll advance to the section championship. And the wild card will be taken from the percentage of games won, the highest percentage of games won from all the flights. That way, when we go to the section championship, we'll have 2 4-team flights. It'll be a nice round number, and it'll make for a nice section championship as well. So the 7-0s, it's all 4-team flights. So the winner of each flight will advance to the section championship. Okay, so it is the weekend. It's this coming weekend, the 24th and the 25th. There is no Friday play for this one. We start bright and shiny on Saturday morning at 8. We're playing at Bass River, Winchester, and Woburn, which are kind of our go-to clubs in the Eastern Mass area. And when you go to the championship webpage, which is down here a little bit, the addresses are hyperlinked in there. So if you click on them, it goes to the Google Maps, and you can Google Map from your location to the club that you're going to. Please know that traffic, for those of you that are not in Eastern Mass, traffic can be a little iffy on the weekends. It's the summertime. So please make sure you give yourself plenty of time to come and get there. And, Waze has a setting on it where you can check future time frames. If you guys ever use that Waze app, it's kind of helpful too. So those are all in there. So communication during the championships will be in person most of the time, but if for some reason we need to get a hold of you, we'll call and we'll text you. So please make sure that we have the most updated information. If for some reason you are not going to be there and you're sending somebody in your place as an acting captain, whichever site you're at, have that person come up and make sure that the site director has their contact information, their phone number, an easy way to get a hold of them. That makes it easy for us in case we ever need to get a hold of you guys. We will do some updates on the championship webpage. I will tell you that our person who does that is getting married this weekend, so he's probably not going to be available. We will do our best with the championship webpage. I don't think we're indoors, so we're not have to worry about weather or rain or anything. So, and this is hyperlinked in here as well, so you can click on it and go to it. We have a Facebook page for the captains where we just put a lot of information. It's not specific to the championships, but we do put a lot of championship things on there. So you're welcome to join that Facebook page. And the final thing on this overview slide is that on Thursday night, for those of you that are local or want to come in early on Thursday night from 6 to 9, we will be at the True North Brewery. The first beer is on us for everybody that comes through. And it's just a time to come and hang out, just meet some people, bring your teammates and your friends, and just have a nice night out on Thursday night. So the address is on here too. It's in Ipswich. And they're one of our sponsors now, so we're super excited to have them kind of hanging out. Does anybody have any questions about this page? Okay. This is just some regulation highlights.
I had a quick question about
yeah.
the facilities. Do you still need to check in 45 minutes before it's start time?
Yep. So that's what we're going to get to now.
Oh,
so the first time that you check in, yes, please check in 45 minutes early. That gives us time to get you your player gifts, to give you your scorecards, and then you still have time to fill it out and turn it in 30 minutes early. But it's 45 minutes prior to your first match. So if your first match is at 9:45, you don't have to be there at 7:15. You come at 45 minutes before your first match.
And
the rest
applies for the 8 a.m. matches as well?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be setting up at 7. So yeah, come on in at 7:15. That way we have plenty of time to get all of your things to you. The rest of your matches, we just need you everybody ready to go, ready to play 30 minutes prior to the match start time. So we need the lineups. That way we can check all the combinations and make sure everybody's eligible, make sure everybody's there. That's that 30 minutes. We have plenty of courts. So my instinct on this one is that we will run on time or early for most of the weekend in all 3 locations. All players need to provide a government-issued ID prior to playing. So when we call your teams up and we say Team A and Team B are playing, have your players come up with a driver's license, a passport, just a legal ID, something with their name and their picture so that we can verify everybody that's there. They only need to do that once. And then once they do that in the next matches, they'll be fine. The site directors are the same at the locations each day, so they'll kind of get to know who's there and who they are. So just make sure to remind them to pop up there with their government-issued ID on the first time they play. We are playing, everything is in a round robin. So everybody will play everybody. And then, like I said, the winners will advance to the section championship. We play 2 out of 3 regular sets. So it is with ad scoring. If you split sets, it's a 10-point Komen tiebreak. I always spell Komen wrong. I realize that. But we are playing with ads. There's no time limit. So if you play for 3 hours, you play for 3 hours, play it out. We like to, we kind of keep that going, but I know there are some areas that do have timed matches. We don't do that for the championships. So 2 out of 3 regular sets, switch on the odd games, including the first game. There's no rest after game 1. And then you play it out, make sure that everybody's calling the scores. If there are curtains, we typically go with what the club requires for curtains. Most people like them closed. So we try to keep them closed as much as possible. If you have any questions about that, please check with your site director at the time so that you get the story for each location.
Christy,
and then, yeah.
Sorry, with respect to the curtains closed, I've never been at any of those at those facilities where the curtains have not been open. They've always been open.
Okay, if that's how they typically are at the club, then that's what we typically do. So, yeah. When you guys go out there, you get a 10-minute warm-up. That includes your serves. We ask you to keep track of it, or your players on the court to keep track of it. We don't have officials at this championship, so in order to kind of keep everything moving, we like for you guys to keep up with the 10-minute. So just look at the clock when you guys head out there and know what time you're going to have to get started playing. When everything is all said and done, your players from both teams will come back and they will they'll tell us the scores. They will verify the scores so that we know both teams have your initial. As captains, when all of the scores for all 3 lines are in, we need you to check, verify, and then sign the scorecards for us. And we'll remind you of all that too, but just know that we need you to sign the scorecard at the end so that we have both teams, both captains that agree with the scores when we put them into Tennis Link.
Yeah, just a quick question. During this set, let's say that the first set is 6-6. Are we playing a tiebreaker to what? To 5? To 7?
To 7. So if it's 6-all, you play a 7-point tiebreaker.
Okay.
Yep. And then if you split sets, it's a 10-point tiebreaker.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We consider these no default championships. That means going into it, we require everybody to have all lines ready to go. So if for some reason you get there, somebody gets hurt, something unexpected happens, and you have to default a line, we default from the bottom up. So it would be line 3 doubles. And because it's a round robin and there's a mathematical piece that goes in here, if you default a line, that line is defaulted through the entire round robin. So even if you've already played, we would go back and reverse the scores 6-0, 6-0, and the future matches would be 6-0, 6-0. So you really don't want to default at all, if at all possible. We know sometimes there's, everybody seems a little bit tight on lineups these days, and fewer players are coming up to the championships. So just make sure your players know that the default is kind of a big deal. If for some reason you default, but then you advance in the future, you make it to sectionals, that default does not carry through. It's only through the one round robin that you're going through. All right. We're still in this. We still have the national suspension point systems, so that you guys know, because we don't have officials, the site directors and assistant site directors are considered officials in these events. In the event that something happens and they need to do a code violation, or there is some activity that's not great on court, any codes are automatic. It's not a grievance process. It's just like they were an official. And then the suspension points, you can see the calculation tables. If you get 10 suspension points, then it's a 3-month suspension, and it's national. So if you end up going to play in Florida or one of the other sections and you're suspended in New England, you're suspended across the country. We do still have the grievance system for post-championships, but if we have some behavior issues, let your players know that it will not be tolerated, that we're really pushing sportsmanship this year, and the site directors are going to be adamant about making sure that everybody's on their best behavior. Just a few quick FAQs. There are no courts will be available for practice during the championship. You can practice, but you'll need to find other courts at other facilities. The reason we do that is because we don't have enough courts for everybody to practice. So it is not fair for some people to come in and practice, and then it gets a little bit hairy with who's there and who's not. So no, even though we will have some open courts for these championships, we will not be able to have any practice courts. Bathrooms and showers are open and available at the clubs. We don't have any COVID protocols in place. Masks are optional on and off the court. So please be respectful of any players who do or do not wear masks, or any staff members who do or do not wear masks. And then please bring plenty of water and snacks with you. Water and clear liquids are allowed on court. No vodka, just non-alcoholic beverages, please, on court. But we did have that last year where people wanted some clear Gatorade, which is fine. The biggest problem with having the colored drinks is that if they get spilled, they stain the courts, and they're really hard to clean up. So we just ask that you be respectful of the courts asking for us to only have clear liquids. So anyway, that was kind of quick, but do we have any questions so far? Any other questions?
Yes. Are we able to, or players able to request like extra warm-up balls for their matches?
Yeah. What we do is we usually keep as people turn in their used balls, there's always a box of balls. So if you have an odd, like if you have ball like 3s, we ask that you get 1 so that they're still odd numbered, but you can tell the difference from the new and the old. It's a little bit more difficult those first matches out because we don't have any used balls to use. Just if you do bring a used can of balls, make sure you know which ones come from us that are going to be the balls to play with.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. So these are some really great links that again are going to be on, you'll have access to. We have, thanks to Laura, who's on our call today, we have a brand new Captain's Hub. It's amazing. It is going to be the one-stop shop for you guys, not just championships. Anything you need to know about any local area, this hub is just, we're trying to make it a very user-friendly place for everybody. Our marketing department's going to do a bigger push out to let everybody know, but feel free to share the link if you'd like. Players and captains. There's a new captains tab on it as well, so that anybody that's brand new that needs some extra help, there's a place there to go. We still have the captain's Facebook page and the championship web page. This championship web page is new. We didn't have it last year, so like I said, it's going to be a little iffy because James is out this weekend, but in the future he'll be able to update it in real time. And then this link is going to have your important documents, the regulations, which I've sent out in an email. We have the championship regulations, so you kind of know what to expect. We have an online store, so if you want championship t-shirts, they're on there. And then 10% of all income to the online store goes to the New England Tennis and Education Foundation, and that foundation goes to help support our kids programs through grants and some other things. So we try to help support them as much as possible. And that's it. So does anybody have any other questions? I know that's kind of a quick run through.
Yes, for teams that are, lucky enough to advance, do you know how much time after the event do we have to confirm attendance at sectionals?
It's a quick turnaround, about 24 hours, because I have to have the schedule out as soon as possible for all 4 levels. So I need, as quick as possible, I need the information.
Where would the sectionals be?
This year, the sectionals are going to be at Enfield and East Hartford Tennis Club. And right now we're looking at Farmington Valley, but that's stand by on that one. If we don't use Farmington Valley, we'll use probably Glastonbury or Rocky Hill, someplace that's in that East Hartford kind of central Connecticut area.
I had a question.
In flights that have 5 teams, does only 1 team move on?
So 2 teams move on. So in the 8Os this year, we have 2 5-team flights. So 2 teams will move on from those, 1 from the 4-team flights. So that's 7. And then we'll take 1 wild card to round it out for 8. Maria, did you have a question?
I had a quick question just about accommodations. You were never able to get anything with the Peabody Marriott?
I never got.
It's a hike because we're playing in Bass River, and it's a hike from Woburn to Bass River to be there by 7:15 in the morning. If you're getting there late at night, the night before.
Yeah, they never, I don't know if they're having staffing issues or they're having, I don't know what it is, because we had it all set up and then it just kind of fell apart. So I think they have rooms available. I just don't know what the price is.
They have rooms available. The prices are pretty high. Because I
Okay.
checked, yeah.
Yeah.
Christy, so is it safe to say that for the 8 a.m. matches, they're realistically going to start at 7:30?
We're going to try to get everybody out as, yes, probably. If what we do is it's that we get everybody in there. We got to get the lineups. We got to get the cards put together, the teams put together. And we check the NTRPs to make sure that the values add up to either 7.0 or 8.0. So depending on how much time that takes us, we like to get everybody out and started so that everybody's out no later than 8. So it just kind of depends on how much time the checking of the rosters takes. Be ready to play at 7:30.
Just to reconfirm, though, we do not have to be there until 7:15. Is that accurate?
Yes, if your first match is at 8, please be there at 7:15. And we'll be there about 7. So if you want to come a little earlier, you can.
Okay. And as well as the players, are they able to be there by 7:15, 7:20, or is it a default if they're after 7:15?
No, the only person that we need at 7:15 is the captain.
Okay.
Have your players there at 7:30 ready to go. We just need you so that we can give you all the stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Although if you have to be there at 7:15 for support, they should come there at 7:15. I'm just saying. They should have your back early in the morning.
Agreed.
Is there anything else, you guys? Okay. Well, you guys have our email, you have our phone numbers. Let us know if you need anything at all or if something unexpected happens, please. Oh, go ahead, Maria.
All those links that you put on the screen, you've emailed those to us, correct?
I think the only one.
I don't remember seeing them, not all of them. I saw some of them, but not all of them.
I don't think the Captain's Hub has been on there, and I think the regulations were in a different kind of format, but I'll make sure that this is completely updated before I send it out to you guys. Yeah. And if you need anything extra, just shoot us an email and let us know.
I'm sorry for the last time. So there's going to be ad scoring, correct?
With ad scoring, that's correct, yes. And no time limit. You play until you're done.
That's awesome. There are going to be a lot of folks that are going to be very happy.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, bring plenty of water. You guys tell your players it is going to be a little hotter, a little more humid this weekend than it has been. Make sure they hydrate this whole week and not just on Saturday. Get it, kind of prepare the body for it, and bring plenty of stuff with you when you come. So we'll see everybody.
Sorry, the court, air conditioned?
No, the courts are not air conditioned.
Okay, and
Bass
do they
River
sell?
Bass River has air conditioning. Sorry.
Oh,
Bass
Bass
River
River
has
does.
air conditioning in the lobby, but they don't turn the air conditioning on the courts.
Okay. Yes.
And does Bass River also sell drinks and snacks?
Bass River sells snacks. I don't remember them selling drinks. Woburn sells drinks. I don't think Winchester does either.
They have a machine at Winchester.
They do have a machine at Winchester? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sodas, and then they have another one for snacks too.
But you guys are welcome to bring coolers. Like if you have a big cooler that you want to put some ice and some sodas in, you're more
Okay.
than welcome to bring those things inside the clubs.
Plus,
Oh,
they
okay,
might
perfect.
run out, they might run out of their supply. So you're better off just bringing enough for yourself to be
Yeah.
sure.
They always run out of supplies. And the other thing, if you bring a cooler, just be warned that in Winchester and Woburn, you have to take it up a really steep step of stairs if you go upstairs.
Mhm. Yes, there are. Yes, those two have stairs.
Bass River does not, though?
Bass
No.
River does not have stairs.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording.